Hi there and welcome to this UX Builder tutorial, in which we're going to show you how to use the builder itself. To launch the new UX Builder, you can either go through Pages and select the page you wish to edit, and there will be a tab on the top there to launch the UX Builder. Or you can go onto your site, open the page you want to edit, and go up to the banner on the top to edit page in a new UX Builder. We've now opened the page in the UX Builder. And this is a live preview where you can see that all of the elements appear as I hover over them. And on the left here, we have the overview of your site displayed in a hierarchy. Here's a list of all the elements on the page, and I can look within some of the parented elements to edit the elements inside. You can also drag and drop things around and organize it as you wish, but I will show you more of that later. However, I will now show you how to start from scratch with a new page using the UX Builder. So, we start off by selecting the page we want to edit, and then launch the UX Builder from there. Here's the empty page. You can start off by choosing from the templates, or you can add a new element either here or in the overview. So if we click the plus button, a list will appear on the left side showing all the different things you can add. Whether you want to add a layout variation, other content, things for the shop, and other elements. But we can start off by creating a banner. So when you select an element to add, a list of presets will be listed. You can then select from a big range of presets or start blank, which we can do now. When you've selected the preset, you will pass on to the different options of the element you're adding. You can change the height, add different effects, upload an image, and then you can modify everything inside the UX Builder. You can change how the image is displayed, and as the text is a bit unclear, you can add an overlay to your image. By adding some colour to it, we can make it stand out more. And now you can see on the overview that there are 3 different layers in the hierarchy. The banner itself, a text box which holds what you're putting on top of the banner, and some text within the text box. You can also see the hierarchy when you click the arrow of an element, and you can select the elements from there. On the settings button, you can go to options, delete, or duplicate the element. The element is now deleted, so we can add another element into the text box, which can also be done in the hierarchy within the text box parent. We can now add a title element, and write new page, put it in the center, and make it a bit bigger. Then apply it. We can also add things below the text box by clicking the plus button. And as you can see, it all comes within the text box. And we can delete the element either straight on the element, or we can go in the overview and delete it from there. Let's just make it a little bit smaller. We can now add another element below the banner, either by clicking below, or add to the contents in the overview. So let's add a row from the layout variations, and we'll get a list of presets again with all the different variations, but we can configure it ourselves too. Now we got the general options for the row, but we can skip that for now and go to the overview where we can see the 3 columns that are placed within the row. And we can also click on them in the live preview to configure them. Make them a bit wider, or drag them around. We can also add elements within the column either by clicking in the box or by going to the hierarchy, open the column and add it there. You can then see the presets with the different variations, but again, we can also configure this. So you got the HTML editor here, but we can also open the text editor. We can make some space and add a header. And we can also go into the formats and change the format of the text. And there we can add different variations. And in the other column, we can add an image. We can also add other elements within the same column. Let's add a button. Here you have different presets which we can also modify. So, as you can see here, you can see the hierarchy by clicking the arrow. And the same in the overview. You can click to expand. And here you can see the two different columns within the row and all the contents inside. On the right side, there's also a toolbar listing all the different devices. And you can click one of them to see how the website looks on that device. On some of the options within the device, with a light on the side, you can make a variation that is unique to that device. So when we change the width of this column, you can see a light on the smaller devices on the right side. And you can also configure the visibility, so that the element only shows on some devices. When we click back to the desktop, you'll see that the element holds the normal value, but it's different on the tablet. And when you click the green light next to the value, it will clear the responsive variation and match the desktop. However, the telephone version will stay as it is. Now, we can add another element below. So let's choose the Instagram feed. And something below. Let's add some text. And if we go back to the overview now, we can move any element around on the page. So if we move the text up a bit, and we can also move it inside the live preview. If we now go to the page settings, on the top right, we'll get several options for the page, including templates for how the website is presented. We can choose a full width template with transparent header. And it's a full width now, so things can look a bit squished. So we can just quickly make it look a bit better. Starting with a banner, make it a bit smaller and change the image position. We can also change the margin of the title. And we can also add a gap below the Instagram feed. Here we go. We can also duplicate elements. Let's also duplicate the gap between the two feeds. We can do that by dragging the element itself whilst pressing the Alt button on the keyboard. And it will duplicate where the element is dropped. So let's just delete that again. So let's say it's all done now. We can then click the Update button and then go on the cross. You will then be directed to the page you just edited, and it's live.
Mr. 3 Hours. Fitness. Diets. Emotions. And love.